What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expivia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expivia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expiviausa.com for more. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center and contact center podcast, where we try to give you some actionable items that you can take back to your call center, improve the overall quality, improve the agent experience, hopefully improve the customer experience as well. How's everybody doing? Oh, man, it's been a while since we've talked. It's been almost 2 weeks. Sorry about that. It's been pretty crazy here at Expivia with some of the RFPs and some of the needs of some of the clients that we've had. So been a little busy, but I've carved some time out here to have another podcast here and talk to you guys about some stuff. Before we get on to that, I want to invite all of you guys again to join our texting community. Again, all you need to do is just say hi or what's up to text 814-247-0366. It'll get you some information on how to sign up. And again, we're going to give some extra content out. We're working on some kind of special things for that community. Again, I never sell. I'll never use your data. It's just another way for you to kind of communicate with me and an easier way for me to communicate with everybody else, kind of on a little bit more of a one-on-one kind of frame. But hey guys, I wanted to talk today about, I had some questions from people who have purchased a new platform, and they have questions on how to set it up, right? And not set up the whole platform, but setting up the supervisor and dashboards and admin dashboards to really see what's going on and what are some of the, widgets that we have up that we're looking and we're monitoring every single day. So I wanted to kind of go through what I think are really, really important metrics and the metrics that you need to have up and you need to be, or your team needs to be monitoring really at all times. So how we kind of do this and how I've kind of thought this through is I like the first row, or kind of where your eyes first meet, to be all on really program specific data, right? Or those kind of metrics, meaning service level, calls in queue, abandon percentage, those kind of just the hardcore, what's going on right now? Do we have an issue? What do we need to look at kind of metrics, right? For me, service level is always kind of the number one metric. Every client, that's the first thing that they look at kind of that next morning, or if they're into one of our live portals they're looking at and they're questioning service level, right? And, again, I got into a big, I don't want to say a LinkedIn argument, but we had a healthy discussion on benchmarking service level. And so a lot of people have a lot of opinions on that. My deal is an 80-30. So 80% of the calls answered within 30 seconds or less is pretty much the industry benchmark. And if you say to anybody, hey, what should service level be? I would say 8 out of 10 are going to give you that. Now, granted, every client's a little different. Every program's a little different. You may be a financial services client. That service is your number one deal, and you want to answer a call in one ring, and you need a 90-10 or a 95, right? That's fine. But that's not an industry number. So the industry number is 80-30, or 80-20, 80-30, 80-20, right around in there. Any of those are, I think, normal, right? So that's kind of what we have set up for our service levels for most of our clients. Right next to our service level. And granted, guys, we're going to do service level by skills, right? So if we have a tech skill and we have a service skill and we have a sales skill, right? All three of those are going to be broken out, and we're going to have what the service level is on one dashboard for that client or for that program, right? The other thing is I like to have abandon percentage up there. So we can make sure that, that number is now, granted, that's going to pretty much correlate to service level. But most of the time it's under 3% that we need to be. So again, that's a metric that we kind of look at very seriously and make sure that we're doing a really good job with that. Now, some of you have the ability to have occupancy and have a kind of a percentage on calls, percentage in a working state. We call it occupancy. That number, I like that number as well, to be up there, and that's more for an internal deal to make sure that we're being efficient. But that's kind of the bridge to my next, I guess, row of metrics. So again, top row, program-wide metrics, not really drilling down to rep issues or anything like that, right? The next row is we basically have our rep, what state they're in, right? So kind of our rep, looking at all of our reps. Are they unavailable? Are they on calls? Where are they in from a real-time perspective, right? And we have some certain, color coding. And if you have color coding for certain metrics, so if you have a rep and you want a handle time of under 6 minutes, when it gets to maybe 5 minutes, that thing turns yellow, and then anything over 6, it turns red, so that you can start to see that. You can hop on their calls. QA can hop on their calls. They can start to monitor. That's really important. So if you can make sure to set up any type of color coding, any type of notifications, that's going to make your job a lot easier when things just kind of pop out. The other kind of thing on that row right underneath it is going to be your overall metrics for the day. So we do 2 of them. We do an interval level reporting, and then right underneath that, or right to the side of it, we do a summary level reporting. So these are your metrics for the day. Incoming calls. How many calls have been answered? What's the handle time overall? What's your talk time overall? So the overall kind of numbers, right? We're going to have them set up one per interval. So I'm going to be able to see for this half-hour interval, what are we doing? And then next to it, I think you should have a summary for the entire day so that you can see exactly where you are for the day. I think that that's a really important deal. One thing I did forget though too is on that first row, which is another really, really important widget or metric, is your queue counter, right? So you really need to know, how many calls are in queue. So that's a really, really important thing too. So again, top row, all of your regular program-wide metrics, what's going on at this instant. Next row, looking at your reps, real time. Are they doing okay? Anybody I need to talk to, anybody's line I need to get on. On that third row is then you have your kind of overall what's going on for the interval, what's going on for the day. Underneath that, and some of you have this depending on what type of platform you have, we have a workforce management kind of compliance widget, right? So that we can kind of see who's in compliance from break time, after call work time, occupancy, who's really meeting the scheduling requirements that we have for that day. And, again, that's important stuff, but I don't think it's as important as kind of the real time what's going on. Once you have kind of everything under control here, then you can start to really look at, those kind of, I don't want to say secondary metrics, but, things that aren't totally affecting what's going on in the shift. They're little tweaks, right? And now you might have a rep that's way out of compliance and you need to handle that. But that's a secondary deal to what's going on right now, to make sure that you have all that covered. So again, real quick podcast, just wanted to kind of talk you guys through some of that, how we kind of set up our dashboards, what metrics we use, what we think are important, and kind of the fundamental process of kind of how that's set up. Before I go again, really quick, join the texting community. Also, our Facebook community is kind of killing it right now too. So there's an advice from a Call Center Geek Facebook community. It's been, I think, really helping a lot of people, especially in the, what's going on with call center when it comes to technology, when it comes to operations, when it comes to conflict resolution, all those types of things. Everybody's kind of giving their opinion on stuff, which is pretty cool. So look to join that if you have any questions. And listen, the last little thing here is I've had a lot of people who've been emailing me in the last couple of weeks about new telephony platforms and call center platforms and have some questions on that. If you have any questions on, hey, we're getting a new platform, I don't really know where to start, or hey, we're kind of in the middle of this, can I have your opinion? I'd love to try to help you as much as I possibly can. So you can just, hit me up on LinkedIn. and just DM me there. Or we also have a little landing page called Call Center Geek Consulting.com. And you can just kind of throw some information in there, and I'd be more than happy to kind of get back. And there's no cost to you at all, just to try to help and see where you guys are at. So again, hey, thank you guys very much. And we're going to be coming back this week with another really cool podcast where we're going to really dig deep with an amazing guest that we're going to dig deep into telephony platforms and talk about, the leaders, up and coming platforms, different companies, what's good, what's not, what you should be looking for. So again, I think that'll be a really interesting podcast episode. That'll be coming later in the week. Have a great one, everybody. And we'll talk to you in a couple of days.